with all the violence going on in other states as well, you know, s- we got to do better. That's all I can say. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Go ahead and hit that share button and invite some people over. I just want to look at a couple of things. I had sent a um, picture, and for some reason, I sent them to two different email accounts, and it hasn't appeared because I wanted to uh, share it on my show today as we discuss different topics as I normally do. Good morning, good morning. Hope that everybody is well. But nevertheless, I'm going to do my best to try to entertain you. That's what they call it, entertaining. Yep. But like I said, that one of these things I want to discuss today is gun violence. It's it seems to be always on the rise. It's always coming about as we continue to try to move and motivate people uh, in 2023 to get people to know that we care about them, especially the youth, because they're the one that's really at the forefront of all this stuff going on with our with our with our people and in our community. So as I constantly research and try to develop different things for the youth, um, to try to get them once I launch it to give them some activities, because with all violence, if you don't have nothing to offer the young people, you're not getting their attention. And what happens with that is when we don't get their attention, there's other things that do get their attention, as scriptures say. The devil mind, I mean, the what idle mind is the devil workshop, meaning that all these things that we face each and every day, that our youth in our community, our neighborhoods, uh, is facing, is because we are not really coming up with great ideals. This has not just been going on yesterday. It hadn't started last week. This has been going on for years. This has been orchestrated uh, to devalue the black community. And sometimes people don't want to say the harsh things because they're afraid of the feedback they'll get from other people. But all you got to do is look around and see what's happening to our future generation. They are dying in the streets, afraid to go to school. When you have to understand that our future generation is not just gun violence anymore, it is now mental health. And this, I've been talking, preaching, whatever you want to say. I've been to schools way before I went into college that met with city officials, worked with different organizations with the city, been on talk shows, invited them on my talk show when I was at WRAP with Frankie Stewart, Frank James, who they used to do a community talk show in the 70s, going into the 80s. And I used to invite professional people that work with the Portsmouth Health Department. And we discussed it then. We discussed the effects of alcohol when young people drink it. I've been on national talk shows like Night Talk with Bob Laws, that was broadcasting during that time out of Philly. I think it was Philly he was on. It was called Night Talk, and he was a syndicated show, so he was syndicated in about 20 or 30 markets at that time. And I was invited on there as a guest. And when I try to explain my program back then, he invited me to stay. I was supposed to be there for an hour or 20 minutes to an hour. I wound up being there 2.5 hours because all the people that were listening to the show was interested in my perspective and the effect of alcohol at that time was one of the biggest problems with our youth. But today it's gun violence. And it's not that they run around just shooting anybody. They're shooting people that look like them. They're shooting up the community. They're destroying their future and taking a future away. I know everybody's always talking about taking back the community. And you can't, to me, you can't take back something you don't own. You don't own the community. So you can't take it back because you can't control who comes in the community. You can't take it back because you can't keep the people that move in that area that you know nothing about. You can't stop them from moving in. So you can't take back something that you don't own. But for 2023, I'm coming up with a new slogan for what I'm doing because that's the only way we're going to be able to change the lifestyle and the way young people see themselves. You have to understand young people don't see any hope. Young people don't see activities that they can go to and have a good time in their so-called community. We just in since COVID, we just seen a surge of Black entrepreneurship being launched in the 757. But again, how many of us support the Black community businesses? Do you take your kids around to the Black community vineyards? Do you take them around shopping to let them know this is a Black owned business? We need to spend more than, can you help me? Can you lend me? Can you spare me? We have to do better if we want to survive. As I began to educate myself about business and reading books, books will tell you if you're a Black person opening up a business, the first 3 years, you don't make any money. The first 3 years in business, if you can survive, because most business open up, grand opening, grand closing. Most of them that is not financially able to sustain no business until business start coming in, goes out of business. So if we can't get people that look like us to support our brands, our businesses, how are we going to survive? It shouldn't be, oh, you see somebody trying to do something, instead of condemning them or criticizing them, spend money with them so they can survive. Teach one, help one. I mean, that's what I've been doing all my life. Because I done helped a lot of people. And that's why I'm not in business now. Because I was helping people and the city didn't like it. And they can say whatever they want. If you go and do your research like I do, you will see that they don't want major businesses. They pick and choose who they want. They pick and choose if they can control you. Because when you start telling other people how the system work, you got to go. And that was one of the problems I would do. People would come to me like, how you get this done? How you get this? I said, well, you got to go down to the city. You got to get your business license. You got to get registered. So you can, because you got to pay taxes, depending on what type of business you're opening. And most people don't know, oh, they want to open up a restaurant. They want to open up a nightclub. They think it's exciting. They think that's the life. That's the life of the party, owning a club. As they say, grand closing, grand opening, grand closing. All the clubs, most of the clubs that were owned by Black people are closed. And the rest that are open is struggling to survive. They want to blame you for everything that happens in the city. Oh, yeah, they can do that to us. If we own the business, that's what happened to us. We get blamed for if a man sneeze. Oh, you were open. You weren't open. He wouldn't have sneezed on the person. But what that got to do with me? I didn't sneeze on the person. But when it comes to us, anything that happened when you own or you opening up an ABC establishment that offers dancing, oh, you're in trouble. Now, all these places that are open that's not owned by us, you watch the news, and if you don't, they don't get closed. It's only the people that operate an Afro-American nightclub. You out of here, buddy. You out. You got to go. Sorry. I know you invested thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you got to go. I'm sorry. You brought too many black people out. We scared. They might come to our house. What? Black people they go out to party. They ain't looking to break in nobody's house. But today, it's a different story. Our community is reflecting the frustration that they are going through. Mental health is a problem that we face, and the mental that affects the mind, the way we think, the way we feel, the emotional stress that we go through. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to say, hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It's got something to do with everybody if we don't work together. Our young people are just learning that they are growing up to get older. They're getting older. And whatever happens, they're going to be responsible for the circumstances. And that means whatever they do, they are going to jail. What is it like to sit in the house? With COVID, we experimented. That was, that was an exercise that we never thought would ever happen. We never thought that we would be sitting in the house close to 2 years, wondering why we can't go out and have a good time. And we are trying to figure out all the things that we face is now, as they say, coming home to roost, like they used to do in the old schools. Mental health is a serious problem. Let's talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. We all go through things that we're not equipped for. We go through things because we hide the things that we go through. Yeah, we get on Facebook and talk about it. We get on Facebook and say, hey, look, this person is being mean to me. And some people suffer in silence. And no one never knows how they feel until someday or one day, like what's going on now. People say, I'm fed up, and go out and take innocent people's lives. And we had it here in Chesapeake at Walmart. Every time you turn on the news, somebody done shot somebody in the neighborhood. Somebody done took a gun to school. Newport News, 6 years old. And that's not normal. We can point fingers at everybody. We all are responsible. Because in our community, there is no unity. You don't even talk to your next door neighbor. Back when I was growing up, everybody know what you was doing if you done something wrong. Mom and dad will tear your butt up. And if not, the neighbors had an opportunity to do that, discipline you when your parents weren't around. And then in the 80s, late 80s or early 90s, the government changed the laws saying, hey, you can't discipline your children. What? You can't spank your kids. What? Why can't it? They're my kids. I'm not going to let them run over me. They gave the kids permission to pick up the phone and call the police and report you if you try to discipline them, spank them, or give them a butt whooping or whatever you want to call it. If you even act like you were going to do something, I heard kids I'd be over somebody's house or you're like, yo, you hit me, I'm going to call the police. What? Oh my goodness. If one of my kids had done that, they wouldn't have had to call the police. They'd have been towed up from as they used to say in old school, from the flow up. From the flow up, you'd have been towed up. And then I'd have went down there and turned myself in. And I ain't got to wait for the man. I'm just going to go on down there because I know they're coming. So why wait to get frustrated with them? I whoop my kid. I done been through all the scenarios in life. I'm not a violent person. But I know what the mind goes through when we as adults feel like someone is playing us for a fool. Let's say it like it is. Playing us like a fool. We lose our cool. You know, we cool because we black. We cool. We can't take it. The key point I'm trying to make is that we all been there. The young people are just getting a chance to get a little bit of freedom. Then they get bullied at school. You stink. You ugly. Yeah. Those are harsh words to people that's not used to hearing those things said about them. Their mind, let me put the picture back up. Their mind lights up and trying to figure out why is someone talking to me that way. The mind is telling them, okay, forget them. But we, as parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, we have to step up and talk to our children. They are the future. As we get older, don't you understand? We are living to die. We're not living to live. We are living to die. That's why if you get a tombstone right today, you see born, you can go ahead and pay for it. So when you get ready to leave this planet, that expiration date is going to be on there. It ain't going to be born 1992, die, reincarnation. It's going to be deceased. That's the expiration point. Love is the key to stopping this senseless crime. Our young people in the Black community need to be educated, need to stay in the house, TV cut off by 9, in the bed by 9:15. Hope you be falling asleep by 9:30. Early to bed, early to rise. Why can't we do that? Why can't our kids cut the phones off the iPads, the video games, because that's what I made my kids do when I was home. When I was working in the clubs and I wasn't there, I told them what time they had to go to bed. And if they had good grades, they might say, Dad, I'm playing my game. I'm trying almost to win. I don't want to have to start all over again. All right. 10 o'clock in the bed, no excuses. And they'd be so excited and say, thanks, Dad. And I would call back home and check with the mother. And the mother said, they're in the bed. They're in the bed. They went to bed at 10 o'clock. Why? But I rewarded them. I said, because y'all did good. You had good grades on your report card. I'll buy you a video game. Just one, Dad? What about, I'll buy each one of y'all a video game for your console. For me, I like the Xbox. My kids, they like the PlayStation. Every now and then they would play Xbox. And I said, all right, you can play my games, And I never really was interested in playing PlayStation. But sometime when they didn't want to play by themselves, they asked me. I know I ain't gonna win because I don't know how, I never studied the console. But to make them happy, I take time out. If they wanted to go to the store, Dad, can I walk to the store? No. Dad, it's right across the street. No. Because I don't want to go out there and have to hurt somebody. You can do whatever you want to do, say whatever you want to me. But my kids is another story. That's a whole nother chapter. I don't know how to think. My mind is racing. And I would take them to the store until they was 18. I'd take them everywhere they want to go until they was 18. When I was able to do it and not working. If not, my wife would take them. I love kids. I spent all my time, all my money running clubs for over 40 years. But God gave me something else to do. And I've been working on that most of my life. Ever since the 70s, way beyond the 70s, in the 60s. I haven't stopped working. I still do. Because how is it that we sit home and watch TV and our kids are somewhere in the street and we don't know where they're at? Yeah, we want them to grow up. We want them to be grown. We want them to be responsible. But the streets don't. The streets don't. The streets want them in gangs, want them to go to school and bully people. When are we going to learn the lesson that love is more important? You got to find a way to reach them. And if you don't do it with love, the Black community is in deep, deep, deep trouble. That's why I work hard on my series with Captain85. That's why you see me every day from 3 till 6, broadcasting live on the internet at WVDM Radio, so that the kids can have positive music and play music that don't have gunshots, bang, bang, boom, boom, bust them in the dome, code words that you don't realize what they are. We got talented people here, talented young people that just want to express themselves, and sometimes we don't help them. We don't help them. Today, I spent about a couple of hours on YouTube where I got videos of my son, and our next talk show, or maybe next Tuesday or whenever time permit, because I got guests coming on Saturday and hopefully Tuesday as well of next week. I will show you my son that's now 23 in the military. He makes his own choices. I don't tell him what he cannot do. I never try to tell him what he better do. I just told him, whatever you want to do, as long as it's right, I will help you. That's with all my kids. Now I got grandkids. I'm trying to leave a bag for them. All my kids are grown, making their own bag. But when you leave this planet, you got to try to make way for everybody to get a bag. And hopefully I'll bring on an insurance lady that can tell you the different policies that you can get. Very reasonable now. Because if you got kids in your house, then you should make sure they got an insurance policy. Because somewhere along the way, if they're not living the way you want them, somebody's going to have to bury them. And as hard as life is, that's the reality. The harsh reality, if they're not going to live by your rules and regulations, the streets will teach them. You could be an innocent bystander, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Used to be fun to go out. No more. No more fun. You got to watch everywhere you go. We got everything going on today. Kidnapping. Women being kidnapped. Sex trafficking. I wonder why they ain't kidnap no boys. Just women? Okay. So it is what it is. Everything that's going on is going to affect our future generation in the US of A. Maybe you can afford to move to Africa. I don't know if you'll be able to live in Rome or Europe, but hey, you might be able to get over there to Africa to stay or move to another state. We got 50 of them. But if you can't make it in VA, how you going to make it somewhere else? We have a responsibility. We just celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday the other day. We just did. I have a dream. Dare to dream. How can we tell our kids dare to dream when they're afraid to go outside and play in their front yard? How can they dare to dream? They can't even go to school. 6-year-old shooting a teacher? Kids going into school, attacking other students? Trespassing? Don't they know that's the pipeline to prison? If you're not going to live right, go and turn yourself in. Go on down to the police station. You got me. What you done? I don't know. I was thinking about taking my piece, go shoot up the school or shoot up the neighborhood. But you got a gun? Yeah, I got one. Turn it in. Put your hands on the desk. You're going to put the cuffs on you. We're going to check your record. To check your record, you might say, well, you don't have anything wrong, sir. I know, but see, that thing they call mental health, that mental health situation is telling my brain to go out here and do some damage because I'm a bad man. That mental health is telling me to go out here and kick somebody's butt because I'm a bad man. I'm getting tired of the way people treating other people. So I'm going to take it upon myself to be a bad man. And I know Martin Luther King saying, is this what I died for? Megan Everett, is this what we died for? Malcolm X. What happened to the neighborhood? Did I lose my life and try to educate my people to be proud, be dignified people? Most of the young men that get killed, I guarantee you, neither one of them had a suit and a tie, a white shirt and a tie in their closet. Most of them probably did. You got to make them feel important. It's by the way they dress. Our culture didn't walk around with T-shirts and baggy jeans on. That's to manipulate you into thinking that, hey, you cool. Everybody making money off you. You walking around here with everybody's name on your body. You are not a billboard. But they use you as one. You're advertising somebody else's name, that ain't even from your community. What happened to all the advertising with Fat Farm? What happened to all the advertising with Rockaware? Sean John. What happened? Where is it? Oh, you don't see it as much. I understand. This is 2 Up and 2 Down, VA. This is from, I don't, name escape me, forgive me. But this is the Black brand from VA over in Newport News. I forgot to put his information up because I'm always having conversations and things that get thrown off because the website saying you got too many posters in your studio. Then you got to take some out. And I think I took that one out with him in here. So what we have to do is seek out brands, and I'm going to be bringing some more people on that have brands for 2023. Insurance for 2023. And another thing, banking. How you going to get a bag when you don't even know how to save? You spend, spend, spend. Our young people just spend, spend, spend. But we ain't spending with people that look like us. We just spending. And of course, we ain't going to have a lot of business that have the things that we need. But we can go to the places that do have things we need and purchase products. Take a friend with you. I don't care how many Black businesses open. You're not going to be able to. You can support 1 or 2, maybe 5 a week or a month. You go to a grocery store. You got Black grocery stores. You got restaurants. You got Black restaurants. All of them don't serve chicken. And most of them don't even serve pig feet. But you will find something that you like. Work as a team. But we're going to continue to try to bring you more information and inform you what's going on in our community to try to change things. Black Russian Inc. with Big Rodney. Let me put this picture up there. There you go. Big Rodney. Black Russian. Rodney, I do apologize. I wanted to put your the new picture of Jada Bobby on the screen today because you're getting ready to release her music in to all the platforms so that people can start supporting her and purchasing her music. And I'm asking everybody that watches the show and the Best of the 757 community talk show, and I want you to purchase this young lady's song because she deserves a chance to live her dream. We all have dreams, and we are no different from anyone else. And we should be able to support the young lady, Jada Bobby, because it's important that we do. For some reason, I am not getting the email that I sent over 45 minutes ago, and I don't understand. But nevertheless, I have it on I will be putting it up on my radio show. And if you listen to WVDM today from 3 until 5, I play the best R&B, hip hop, classics, and the latest and greatest country, blues, reggae, Latin. We play it all here. But this young lady is very talented. I've listened to several of her songs, but I was really impressed with the Antagonize. That's her picture. She has a new picture out for her new EP that's coming out real soon, in a few days, I think, or next month. But we're going to try to get her back on the show with Rodney, Big Rodney, and everything, because what we need to do is support our local people. We should be reporting our local people when no one else is. We done supported Jay-Z, Beyonce, Destiny Child, Timbaland, Pharrell, Missy Elliott. Where is the new generation of R&B and hip hop artists? We have to do better than just lip service. Jada Bobbitt, let me slow down, is deserving and asking for your support with her music. She just graduated a year ago out of Norfolk High School. We have to do much more than lip service to our young people. Give them a shot. If they want to sing, want to dance, play an instrument, give them a shot. Because if you don't, the streaks will. Then what happened? We lose the next generation of entertainers, artists. They got so much potential. But we, as the adults, the elders, as they call us, once we get a certain age, I still can dance. Now, don't even get it twisted. Oh. Don't get me started, baby. I can still cut a rug, mess it up, and make sure your floors are waxed too. But let me tell you something. Young people are so thankful when you pay attention to them. They are so thankful when you say, hey, You deserve a break today. I'm working. I'm not doing lip service. It's just so much paperwork that I have to do to get protected with my brands and designs and everything else. I don't have a bag. I have to pitch pennies, as they say. Pitch pennies. Take a time out, instead of going to McDonald's. I go to the store, get me a bag of oodles or noodles, throw some water in it, put the flavor in there, give me some crackers. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I saved $10. Yes. I'm paying for my dream. Did you know that Colonel Sanders was about 70 years old when he first opened up his first Kentucky Fried Chicken? And after that, everything was history. He had the largest restaurant in the world. He had Kentucky Fried Chicken all over the world. Just imagine, out of all the 20 or 30 other businesses he tried to open and they failed, weren't much successful. But God don't make no mistakes. We do. You got to keep believing. You got to keep faith alive, keep hope alive. And, Valentine's Day is coming up next month. Oh, yes. Valentine's Day is on its way. So what we have to do on WVDM radio, we're going to be doing a little contest where you can text in, call in when we're online for a chance to win an EP by the one and only KC the Dangerous One. Lyrical's Life Lessons, episode 2.0. You heard me playing the songs on the radio. Tune in today. I have a link on Facebook, WVDM Radio. You'll see the logo. This is the logo for the radio station. And all you have to do is click on that link. And I'll do in another 10 or 15 minutes to put the link up there and promote it. But we're going to give away copies to a man or a woman because everybody has somebody they in love with. I know women like music. So fellas, if you want to listen to the radio station for a chance to win a copy. Ladies, if you want to listen, get a copy for your man from you. Romantics. What happened to the romance? What happened to chivalry? Do your man ever pull out the chair for you when you go to a restaurant and have a seat? I know most of the time it's a bench. Some of them are just benches. But does he wait for you to sit down before he slide on the other side? Chivalry. It's a lot of things that we can do to teach one another things, to improve our lifestyles and stop going hard. We don't have to go hard all the time. Going hard is for those going hard. We need to be March. Say it again. Thank you for watching, brother. When I was talking about music, he was expressing we don't need any more music, especially if it's negative. We have to bring back knowing how to love somebody. We have to bring back knowing how to show a woman that we care about them. We have to stop putting men down Because the worst thing you can do, and I used to teach my security at all the clubs I manage, never, never challenge a black man in front of people. You want to get him out of the club, whisper in and say, look, come go with me, man. Just come. Let's talk in the hallway. Let's talk outside. I can't hear your music too loud. Let's just talk. Because black men, you already know you black, that you cannot challenge a black man in front of other people. That's you starting a war. A black man will rather lose the battle, but he ain't gonna lose the war. When you talk to us the right way, it may not have been our fault. Like the incident that happened down at Grammy Street. Somebody spilled a drink on the guy or stepped on his shoes. 5 people got shot. 2 died or 3. Because it's like not respecting. We stop respecting each other. Everyone wants to go hard. Going hard for what? You trying to get to the hospital? You trying to get to the undertaker shop? You trying to get to the cemetery? Oh, I forgot. I kind of like got it out of line. The pipeline to prison. Now, I'm just trying to, where is it at? We need our men to be alive. We need our young kids for their dads to be around to help them grow up. We need mothers. What is this? I mean, we used to hearing brothers, get mad or shooting people. But when is it that women are getting killed? This should be alarming and disturbing to everybody. We have to do better. They depend on us. Next month is Black History Month. What are we going to celebrate? How many black people died? Are we still marching? And they've been marching there since the 50s? We ain't learned nothing yet? We have to get control of our youth. You think that society don't pay attention? They know our youth is our stronghold. The youth is our treasures. Why is you thinking that they're the most ones that's being dealt with the way they are? They go in prison at an early age, 20 or 30 years, they get out. 20 or 30 years. They don't even bother with you no more. Unless you just lose it. They don't even bother with you no more. You don't spend 30 years working for 25 cents a day for 30 years. Staying in a cell that you can only no size of a bed and a toilet. And maybe 1 or 2 other people, 3 other people in there with you. We got to do better. The pipeline to prison is real. It's much harder when young people feel like there's no hope. This young man right here was just sworn in. Grew up in Norfolk and Virginia Beach. Now he's the senator up in Richmond. Senator Aaron Ross, excuse me. Aaron Ross is his name. Now he's the state senator, just sworn in last week. And you think that you can't become, he's a NFL football star. Now he's a state senator. This is who our kids should be trying to put themselves in position to become. But you can't if you're dead. You can't if you don't stay in school. You got to practice what you preach. If you want your kids to be positive, you got to show them positive things. That's the swearing in ceremony where he was sworn in, Aaron Ross. Virginia, one of Virginia senators in the Virginia Beach, from Virginia Beach. So if you live in Virginia Beach, he's one of the representatives that will represent you. We have to stop sitting around pretending that we have all the answers. We don't. But we have this answer right here to show you anything is possible. Anything that you put your mind to is possible. Don't let nobody steal your dream. Don't let nobody steal your joy. It's in you. From the day you was conceived in your mother's womb, God had already given you all the gifts that you need to become whatever you want. Why you think you're the most hated on the planet? You can be whatever you want to be. But I know this. You weren't born to be a murderer. You weren't born to be a drug dealer. The world did not give you your gifts, but the world will try as hard as, I don't usually use these words, hard as hell to take them away. Because once they take them away, you're going to be in hell, buddy. You're going to be in hell. We have to remember one thing. If you live through childbirth, if you live to grow up to go to school, why did you stop obeying your parents or your mother? Why did you start obeying strangers? Why did you stop listening to your teacher? Teaching is a hard job. It's not easy. But I was in a special education class. I had two teachers, three that looked out for me. One was named Mrs. Overton. I was put in the ungraded class in her room out of the third grade. I wasn't in the third grade, but 3 weeks, if it was that. After we transferred from that area of Chestnut and Gosport Road, they used to call it. Now it's Portsmouth Boulevard. I moved to Effingham Street, back to Effingham Street. But let me tell you this. God don't make no mistakes. We give up on the Creator when we don't have to. God sent his only begotten Son in the world so that you and I could have a chance for everlasting life. Not just here on earth, but once we leave here, where God is going to send us once we leave this planet. The spirit can only go back from which it came. Why do you think the enemy wants you so bad? He is battling you for the spirit of God that's in you. Every person on this planet has got the spirit of God in them, but the world is trying to take it away. You have to make a promise and dedicate yourself to being the best person you can be. And it's not easy. It's not easy. But surround yourself with people that will support you. Surround yourself with people, if it even means staying in the house and never going outside, to be with your friends. If your family turn their back on you, Stay in your room and read. Pick up a book. Pick up a piece of paper and a pen, pencil, and use your imagination. Write down what you want to be or draw a picture of who you want to become. You don't know the power of your brain? The brain is the most powerful part of your body. The soul is what controls your heart, your mind, your spirit. You have the power to be anything you want. So why do you want to be a killer, a murderer? Why do you want to lose your life? Why do you want to sit in prison for 20 or 30 years and work for 25 cents a day? Because if nobody don't send you nothing to your canteen, that's another story. And maybe we'll dive into that to one day. Because being in prison ain't no house party. It ain't no party. We can pretend that it is. Hi, Teresa. How you doing, my favorite viewer? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I just want to let you know that God don't make no mistakes. We do as humans. This is why I do this show every week, twice a week. That's why I do a radio show. So you can get the positive music, a variety of music, because we created it. Our ancestors created every gyro music that's in this United States and around the world. Read your history. Know your history. Everybody else is imitating what our kids have done, what your brother and sister have done. But again, that's another story. Well, it's been fun. I got to run. Want to thank those that chimed in today. Thank those that participated in this conversation. Don't forget 3 o'clock until 6. I'll be on Facebook. Remember to love yourself and put God first. Everything else will fall in place. It doesn't matter what others think about you. It's what you think about yourself. Until Thursday, don't forget to chime in with GA for Justice with former president of the NAACP in Virginia Beach, Georgia Allen. Until then, this has been Captain 85.